right to a channel of Light Fluid. Welcome to Second Shift. This is one of the May Wolf 2025 submissions, and it's also one I happened to stream as part of the whole thing. So I quite enjoyed it. I thought, okay, I'm going to do a recording of this. And fortunately, the devs have been working a bit. They've added some more things, tidied things up. So this is the brand new version of Second Shift. The Jam version is still available on itch.io at the moment. So if you want to check that out, you can. This is quite a long one. It was around 24,000 words when I originally read it. So I'm going to do two parts here. I'm going to do part one today and part two in a week or two. I'm not quite sure which one it'll be, but we'll get to that then, yeah. So hope you enjoy this one. It's a little short mini-series for the channel. Let's start this up. Please enter your first and last name finished this job application. Thank you, Jake Maxwell, for completing your application. Please report to Stone Meadow K-8 School at 1:30 on February 24th for your first day. Monday, March 3rd, 7:59 p.m. I don't think this job is going to work out. The polished concrete feels nice to lie on. It's cool to the touch and does a lot to offset my overheated body. I try not to think about how filthy it might be. No, still got 2 hours left until the shift ends. And you finished all your work? I don't want to get you in trouble. Well, it's mostly done. I have 3 floors to mop. They look clean. Don't think anyone will notice if I don't mop them. Okay, where are you calling from again? The closet. Babe, you shouldn't be back in there again. Well, I did leave it just for you, but desperate times. I still haven't got a read on my coworkers. I just want to be safe. You said you saw a kid's book on Marsha P. Johnson. If they have that, I'm sure it's okay to be out. I'll repeat it last time. These blue-collar fuckers. I'm pretty sure they're all straight. I don't trust them. Don't get your blue-collar too now. Custodial work qualifies. You can slowly lose your soft paws like I did. It's kind of hot now I think about it. You're my hard-working otter. I sit up from my lying position on the floor. Okay, well, I was working hard at the startup. In fact, I was probably doing not only more work, but work that actually had an impact on the world. I'm just cleaning up after children here. I'm a glorified maid. You should still mop the floors. That's what they are paying you for, after all. You look fine. I don't need to mop the floor every day. You can't even tell sometimes you've mopped. I feel like fucking Sisyphus. Except the bathrooms. I swear to God these kids just piss on the floor sometimes. Can you tell? Like, is there a large puddle? Well, yeah, sometimes. But it's not always... yellow? Like it looks like the urinals just leaked or someone dumped water on the floor. There are these more amber-coloured stains on the floor sometimes. I definitely know that's piss. You don't see that kind of shit in the girls' bathrooms. It's just the boys' bathrooms. If we ever have kids, we are making sure they are girls. We're having kids now? Just a thought. The lights in the closet turn off. They're on a timer. I'm too low to the ground now to be picked up by the motion sensor. I miss you. I miss you too. Oh, I hate this job. I know. My co-workers are weird. They're just people, babe. All of this has been harder than I thought. Finish out the week, and if you don't like it, you can ask the temp agency to send you somewhere else. Did you take your medication this morning? No. Yes. My therapist said it would take a week or two to saturate my bloodstream. So until then... Hey, I know this is a tough spot to be in right now. Everything feels shitty, and it kinda is. But... we have a job and we aren't at any risk of being homeless. We both have steady incomes. You are giving these temp jobs an honest try. I want something more meaningful. Those job notices I mentioned a few days ago disappeared. Hey, I love you. I love you too. Okay, I'm going to let you go. Food is almost ready, so you have that to look forward to. And you. And me. Go and finish those floors. Try getting used to the routine. I love you. Love you too. I hang up and crawl over to prop myself up against the wall. The closet is large enough that I can spread my legs out. My thick tail stops my back and butt from lying flush against the wall. I sit there, slouched forward in the darkness. I didn't care to use the overturned trash can as a chair right now. My posture would have been shit sitting on it too. I can feel my sweaty, damp clothes clinging to me. This job was more physically demanding than I thought. I'd also forgotten deodorant today, which meant I probably reeked. Taking care of myself and my surroundings has never been my forte. Those deficits translated exceptionally well to custodial work. I was hiding out of my custodial closet to try and get some privacy from my call. Jean always left around sunset, and Sarah rarely stayed past 6 p.m. The employees on the middle school side never ventured to the elementary side. They left one of the sole on this side of the building, and he was persistent. The sound of a crash draws my attention to the door. I sit up a bit and wait for some other sound, but there's nothing else. I keep my eyes on the door. A shadow partially blocks light at the bottom of the door frame. Keep my breath and body still. The door handle jiggles a bit, but I don't hear the sound of keys entering the lock. 3 heavy knocks cause the door to shake. Then the shadow moves away from the door and out of sight. Pretending not to be in here pays off. I wait a moment before peeking outside. No one's here. I spot that my custodial cart's contents have been toppled over. I burst out of the closet at the sight of this. Are you fucking kidding me? Paper towels and toilet paper rolls lie across the floor. I notice one rolling down the hall's natural slope. The window clearance stainless steel polish cans are also lying on the floor. I go to pick up my supplies and I notice the trash bag container attached to my cart has its access flap open. Its bag is torn apart. Loose trash now spills forth like someone's ripped guts. It's mostly used paper towels, so it's not all bad. Upon closer inspection, I can tell the rips in the bag were made from claws. Motherfucking wolf. That howl makes my blood run cold. I dart my head around, expecting to see Zane charging me. There's no sight of him. Is this Zane? I check around corners in the classrooms. Still nothing. I leave the mess of the cart and start looking for him elsewhere. I'm still on edge. Grade school was an unpleasant time for me. Working year brings back memories of being shoved into walls or more covert forms of harassment. It didn't stop until I reached college. By then the damage was done. Whenever I see Zane, it's difficult not to imagine one of my more prominent bullies. Zane's fur is patterned differently, but my bully was a grey wolf too. Eventually I'm able to spot the wolf from one of the second floor classrooms. It's in one of the glass hallways that connect the middle school and elementary school together. He stands straight, tall with a feather duster in his hand. He holds it pointing upward just in front of his chest like a sword. His eyes are closed and he holds his knightly stance for a moment before exploding into movement. With precision he begins executing a series of rapid slashes and foot movements. He makes his way down the hallway executing his pseudo-kata. At times he parries or uses some imaginary shield to block imaginary attacks. The darkness of the school's ground surrounding him frames the performance in contrast with the well-lit hallway. He reaches the end of the hallway where he takes a moment to breathe deeply before shaking his whole body. He repeats this cycle a few times till one routine breaks down to unrestrained slashing and swinging. I can tell he's just fucking around at this pass. Once finished, he lets out a howl. What a fucking tool. After his howl, he starts laughing to himself and there's a little dance. He looks in my direction, notices that I'm spying on him. We both freeze for a moment before he relaxes and waves at me. His usual big dumb grin gets bigger. Zane's the weirdest guy I've worked with. Though worked with is doing a lot of heavy lifting there. We're on separate floors in the elementary side of the school. Doesn't stop him from visiting me often. Each time he manages to irritate me with his weirdness. I've caught him a few times doing weird shit, swinging on the swing sets at night, doing pull-ups and chin-ups at every door entrance he passes through, and howling randomly. He returns his feather duster to his cart and pushes it to our side of the school. I make my way back to my mess of a cart. Eventually he finds me. I'm still trying to motivate myself to clean up the mess he made for me when he does. It looks like your card must have hit a snag or a corner. Christ. Oh, it looks like you had some trouble getting the bag out of the cart. He immediately takes a pair of latex gloves from my cart and starts picking up the garbage. You gotta make sure your bag doesn't get too full. Then you make sure to poke holes at the top so it didn't cause a suction effect. That might have been why you struggled so much with it. As he picks up his mess, I start restacking the paper products. He drones on about trash container upkeep and cart organisation while we work. If you find it difficult to take out the trash bags from the containers, you're probably not emptying them soon enough. Trash tends to look small, but builds up quickly. You might then find yourself struggling against the suction of the bag and weight of the trash. I just assumed he was the one to do it. Rip my bag, that is. Let's say Sarah or Jean that did it. Or when the teachers or students have stayed late. I still wasn't sure what everyone's schedule is. The diligent way Zane is picking up the mess wouldn't indicate him as responsible. After the trash is picked up, he takes over organising the cart. I let him. Partly because this mess might still be his doing, but also his size just intimidates me. I usually like putting the toilet paper here on the middle shelf and the paper towel rolls on the mainland end of the cart. Your chances of having a tower of toppling paper towels are a lot lower since they weigh a bit more than the shitty plywood we have for toilet paper. You could call them military grade because of how toilet paper is so shitty. That's something always people get wrong. Military grade actually means low quality and not tough. Zane finishes up organising before moving to check the closet. He peers inside for a moment and peeks his head back towards me. Yeah, the last guy wasn't exactly on top of things. It kinda looks like hell in there. What's the missing stuff? All this Sarah gave you should give you an idea of what you need in there. I like having a bit more soap containers in mine, since the 4th and 5th graders actually spend time washing their hands. So, I gotta rotate out the containers more. I look at him blankly. He returns a look with a smile, but an equally piercing stare. Thanks. Yeah. We continue looking at each other. I break eye contact first and start shuffling some of the spray bottles around my cart. Quick question. Did you get to mopping the pod floors yet? No. Oh, okay. Sarah just wanted me to remind you to mop with the grain and make sure you do it with the figure 8 pattern. I'll be sure to remember that. He doesn't move on, instead steps closer to me. He hovers just a little too close. Obi, you notice anything weird lately? Other than you? No. Oh, okay. How are you liking the job so far? Fuck you. It's a job. Still getting the hang of it. Well, Sarah said you used to work in tech. Why the fuck are you asking this? Yeah, it was a startup. Ah, I was thinking like lasers or something like that. I actually heard the word laser was some kind of acronym or something. Like it stands for something other than just the word, laser. Some fucking idiot. Probably doesn't even realise how miserable he should be. No, I mainly did coding. I wasn't the lead designer or anything. Oh, cool. So, like robots. Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Fuck off. Hey, where's the main storage space again? I think I should get those supplies now before the shift ends. Oh, I can show you. It's right next to the elementary site custodial office. It can kind of be amazing, that section of the school. No, I can make it on my own. Please, I insist. Zane begins walking away towards my fake destination. I follow. I really don't have the will right now to fake any more conversation or make up other ways to get away from him. He continues to probe me by asking questions about my hobbies, before settling to talking about his. Dungeons and Dragons, metallurgy and weightlifting. Yeah, it's fun to show me how D&D could actually be. Well, that was mostly classic hack and slash dungeon crawls, but now in the most recent campaign. This is my life now. Cleaning up piss and shit stains for stupid kids. Nothing I can do but have that boulder roll over me again and again. This is what life is like during the second shift. Tuesday, March 4th, 1:36 p.m. Work starts at 1:30 p.m. We have a 7-minute window before you're officially late. Oh, thank God for that. Otherwise I'd have been fired my first week. I could make the excuse I'm still getting used to the routine, but that would be a lie. I just hate the drive to this place, knowing where I'm headed. I work the second shift at Stone Meadow K-8 school, home to the Stone Meadows Red Wolves. Go Wolfpack. A combined elementary school and middle school. Originally just an elementary school, a new addition was added some 20 years ago to accommodate grades 6 to 8th and other new amenities. I work on the second floor elementary side. My work area covers grades 3rd to 5th. Each grade has a total of 5 classrooms spread out over several hallways. Taking into account children, teachers and teachers' aides, I'm looking after a total of 390 people. Well, the children could hardly be considered people the way they behave sometimes. Hey, oh, newbie, rise and grind. He hasn't been using my name this whole time. The far too plucky wolf darts over me as soon as he spots me walking to the cafeteria, tail wagging. One might find his enthusiasm endearing. It had the opposite effect for me. Not being born anywhere near his size, I might like to endear my fist into his stomach. Big day today. How so? I got to teach you how to use the floor scrubber. Isn't Sarah the one who usually drives that glorified teal brick? Why can't she today? She's still finished up lunch with her kid. Wanted a few extra minutes. Besides, once Forsyth comes back, you'll need to know. He generally likes to make sure the second shift crew knows every piece of equipment. And between you and me, I'm pretty sure I'm the better operator. Both of our walkies come alive as Sarah speaks through them. Hey Zane, can you help Ms. Gibson with 5th grade bathroom? Her aide was just called to do something. Sure thing. Our newbie and Jean can start breaking down the lunch tables. Zane darts off towards the bathroom just adjacent to the cafeteria. Over the walkie, Sarah makes one quick comment before I lower the volume of my walkie to near mute. Also, quit calling him that, please. So far, Zane's been the co-worker most interested in me. While Sarah gave me the initial rundown of tasks and responsibilities, Zane had been the one doing what he could to guide me. Oh, you've got to wrap up the cords like this. Otherwise they get coiled up too much and get all fucky. Then they start catching on things more. Half water, half floor cleaner mop buckets. Otherwise the floor gets sticky. And use cold water. In case I had to hit shit into the desk legs, check those too. Make sure to dust the vents. Honestly, the amount of new information has been daunting. There's so much to keep track of and learn. I spent the first 2 days trying to do good work before realizing whatever work I did was going to be obliterated anyway. Jean interrupts my thoughts. He greets me and begins collapsing stone-away lunch tables. Good morning. Lovely weather we're having today. Oh, hey. Jean was another co-worker I had extended interactions with. He worked more normal hours, which meant only part of my shift overlapped with his. Jean didn't speak much, and that caused a bit of a barrier. He also had a funny accent that made it hard to understand him sometimes. I heard you were learning the T350 today. I catch only a bit of it, but the T350 is unmistakable. I'm learning how to drive it today. She's a fickle creature. She can turn sharper than you expect, but she's still handled like a brick. If you've driven anything larger than the sedan, you should be fine. Yeah, I drive a beat-up ute right now. Jean just nods and chuckles to himself. Once me and Jean finish, we wait for Zane to finish looking after the kids. I watch as they leave the bathroom and wash their paws. He squats down a little bit to their level. High fives for clean paws. You know the deal. Hey now, can tell dirty paws from clean ones. Each kid high-fives him as they form back against the wall next to their teacher. For some, Zane raises his paw high as they have to jump to reach it. They love it. Mister. My focus shifts to Joey right in front of me. I emptied my tray for you. The kid offers me an empty tray. I'm not sure what to do. You should take it. I do. I raise my paw for a high five. The kid just stares at me. Jean swoops in, offering a low five. The kid takes that offer, running back to her classmates. Ha. My face and the inside of my ears burn with embarrassment. Am I not cool enough for even elementary school kids? Yeah, the kids say it's a skill issue. I don't take it personally. I do. You're new. It takes time for them to warm up to you. Most didn't like me for a few months. You seem to really like Zane. He has been here longer and helps out with the after-school programs. I know him. I do not know you. Do you help out with anything here? I know, but the kids know I know Zane. That seems enough. The last kid leaves the bathroom to line up. Zane returns to us, posting up between me and John. As the kids begin to shuffle out of the cafeteria, some begin dabbing at us. Zane returns the favour, repeating the move for every kid that does it. Jean joins in as well, but only once. I do not. Zane elbows me and points towards Sarah. Boss lady wants to speak to you about some last night's work. I'll get the floor cleaner warmed up for you. Sarah is the first shift manager. Alongside Forsyth, she made sure inventory was stocked, equipment was fixed promptly, and everyone was doing their job right. She also had high expectations. I approach her as she's finishing up lunch with her kid. She gives him a kiss and he hugs her before leaving. Hey, I wanted to touch base with you on some of your work lately. January's looking good. You missed a few areas last night. Third grade and fifth grade windows had some smudging, mostly paw prints. They need to invent a type of glass children are unable to touch. Not allowed to touch. Glass they are physically unable to touch. Some of the adult bathrooms are onto the soap too, and make sure you check those. Uh-huh. Zane said you'd be looking better with the backpack vacuum cleaner. The power cord can be tough to get a handle on, but it's not fast in the push vacuum once you know what you're doing. Anything else? No. Make sure you're following the list. If you haven't already, make sure to stock your closets. I know your predecessor left them in disarray. Sarah's daily critiques of the icing on the shit cake that was this job. I could bust my ass all night cleaning and still miss things. Zane and Jean, meanwhile, could finish their work exceptionally to have time to chat. Part of me thought they must be cutting corners. I know I have. Little by little I was testing to see what I could get away with not doing. Skipping over unsoiled toilet seats, ignoring stray crumbs in the corner of the rooms, and not mopping the floors. If Sarah didn't mention it in the morning, I knew it was a task that was safe to skip. Zane slowly makes his way towards me, riding the floor cleaner. All right, no, I'm in the shit. Time to learn to how to ride this beauty. I watch as the floor cleaner inches towards me. I don't make an attempt to move. Zane laughs nervously as he approaches me. Yeah, you might want to get out of the way. I wonder how painful death from a floor cleaner would be. After we clean up the cafeteria, Zane and Jean unlock the back parking lot barrier gates. The buses come and pick up some of the kids, which clears out the elementary side. I follow my routine, vacuuming classrooms and hallways, cleaning bathrooms, and emptying trash bins. I make notes on where I can skip and what I can't. Afterwards, I spend the remainder of my shift skimming through job application sites. Be finishing early enough lately to do so. Slipping away isn't difficult to do now that both sides of the school were devoid of people. I take a seat right by the door, my tail curled up beside me. No one seems to want to hire any coders right now, at least not for any reasonable amount of money. I send a few applications to jobs that might be fake. Hell, they could all be fake. I'm desperate enough. I freeze at the sound of jingling keys. I wait for a beat and begin to hear the closet door lock turning. Fuck, it has to be Zane or Sarah. For I can even scramble up to try and look busy, the door budges up against me. Not with any real force, but enough to keep me frozen, unsure what to do. The door doesn't open any further, and in fact closes. I hear Zane's muffled voice. Hey, you're only waiting for a shift to end. I'm taking my break. It's a very nice evening tonight. Or you might want to join us, or something. We're just talking. I don't immediately respond. I look down at my phone and the application I was in the middle of completing. I turn off the screen and stand up. I can't keep banging my head against this brick wall right now. Serves some kind of break, even with those two bozos. Give me a minute. There's still some organising I need to do here. Alright, well, we got swings. One's next to baseball fields. Swinging. Let's just step back. You really can't miss it. Persistent. I find both Zane and Jean, as promised, on the swings. Zane looks comical the way he saddles the seat that's much too small for him. He's held onto the chains with both his paws, his head resting on the shelf they provide. He's captivated by Jean's words. Jean, the other paw, rocks back and forth on his heels. There's no third swing, so I just stand there while I catch the middle of their conversation. Or maybe Jean's lecture. Yes, what are the narratives they're conveying? Oh, like the genre. No, not like the genre. The meta-narratives. What's the story about? What is it saying about how the world operates? Oh, still not following. Okay, take the chosen one trope. Oh, classic. Yes, the all-powerful being that fixes all wrongs. Luke Skywalker, Neo, Jesus Christ. You're the chosen one? Technically, yes. Oh, hey, Initiate. Jean waves at me. What are you two talking about? Oh, meta-narratives or something. Jean and I like to talk shop about fandom shit sometimes. A real know-it-all, this one is. Please, I only like critical media analysis, as I was saying. These chosen one narratives require these exceptional people to be the sole catalyst of change. Only they can do it. Without them, change is not possible. It is inevitable once they begin. Okay, sure, but that's kind of how it works, right? One leader takes charge and all. You have strong men and women throughout history. It's always the people, the collective, that makes a change. What does Forsyth say? Oh, tanks and airplanes don't hold land. People do. It's talking about the military, but showcases the role the everyman plays. The average Joe can be a catalyst of change too. The chosen one narrative doesn't allow for that. Many not special people can be the heroes we need. Just look at what we do. Zane scratches his chin. You mean that? Yes. I still see Forsyth as being the chosen one there. Let's give next to him who he thinks actually keeps things going. He'll say it's everyone else and not him. He admits there is nothing special about him too. I guess that makes sense. So why is this all going? The chosen one narrative sets a standard about reality, right? You keep telling that narrative, that fiction, then people will start believing that's the only way things can go. What about they're trying to change things when a saviour is coming to save you? Well, that makes a lot more sense. We need more narratives, different narratives. Better imagination on ways things can be. We see the hard-fought battles. What about the work of reconciliation? And a few stories about people recovering and coming to peace. I mean, people just want to have fun sometimes too. Can't people have that? Keep the politics out of things sometimes. Oh, shots fired. You're right. It's important to have fun. Media can should be used for escapism and fun, but art can be fun and impactful. Oh, fascinating. What a rube. Now think about how people frame stories. You'll see. Are you a film buff? You could say that. I like fandom. Zane over here has been good company for that. Yeah, nurture's my thing. I've never met someone who talks about the way Jean does. Please, you speak too highly. Again, I just like it. I'm not making video essays or anything. Oh, come on. You've got a whole movie book club thing going on. That sounds exhausting. Organising on top of working you sounds like too much. You find the time. It's nice to meet in person every so often. I wish Sarah would join more. Well, Well, once summer break begins, you might have more time. I might even join. We can start you off with something easy. Green eggs and ham, or would that be too advanced for Zane? The insult comes out, for I think to stop myself. Zane and Jean look at me. I give a small chuckle to try and play it off as light ribbon. Zane takes the cue. Good one, dude. Fucking idiot. Yes, good one. Dr. Seuss, well, for children, is still a masterclass in writing. The Lorax certainly holds up as a story for all ages. It might be fun to analyse it, actually. It's a kid's book, and yet it continues to be relevant. You know any shit, you can learn a thing or two from Jean. Jean checks his phone. Our little chat has once again lasted longer than I intended. I must be going. Oh, I'm sorry, man. No, it's always a pleasure. You two always seem to get done with work early. So when do you have this much time to talk every night? Never really got a chance to talk to my coworkers in my last job. Well, last job. When you've been doing this long, you get a knack for how to do things efficiently and effectively. That involves Scythe and Sarah on a tight ship. Sometimes too tight, but it makes sense. It's like having the trains run on time. Jean raises an eyebrow at Zane. Zane looks a little embarrassed. It was a joke, man. Jean turns to face me. It's nice having someone fill in the gaps in second shift. Zane offers a fist bump to Jean, seeming to want to save face with him. Jean contemplates the option for a bit before spreading his arms out for a hug. Zane swings closer to Jean and both hug. I'll see you all tomorrow. Well, later, homie. Bye. Jean turns to me again and sticks his palm out in front of me. Hello, 5. I take the offer and Jean departs. Zane reorients himself in the swing to face me directly. He smiles. You don't want to join? You won't get many chances once baseball season starts. Other kids start using them during after-school practice. I don't generally like swinging when they're around. I take the swing next to Zane. Getting tired of the kids? No, I just don't want to look like a creep. I know what it looks like for a 27-year-old to be swinging next to middle schoolers. Go get in swing time when you can. Zane starts swinging. It doesn't take him very long to get to full speed. His weight and force cause the frame of the swings to creak. I can feel the reverberation of the frame as Zane passes back and forth behind me. After he swings by me a few times, he howls. He holds the note for a bit longer than I expect. Then she slows down and meets me back on the ground. Hey, you've been eating enough. Enough. It just seems sluggish. It's hard work. I'm not used to it. It's hardly see you eat anything. I think my calorie maintenance is at 3,400 right now. I know for me I can get real pissy if I don't eat regularly, so I thought that for you... I furrow my brows at Zane. Is he insinuating what I think he is? Cooking is difficult with a new schedule. Oh, well, I tend to take the snacks the teachers have in their rooms. No one has noticed yet, I don't think. It'll help me make it through a shift. I wish the kids weren't allowed to eat in class. It always seems like they just dump the bag out on the ground with how many crumbs I have to sweep up. Yeah, I admit they can be shitheads sometimes. You know you can talk to the teachers about it. You do have a say in some things. Zane's comment lingers in the air. Oh hey, you never got the barrier gate. Zane points to the entrance to the back parking lot. I did, in fact, not get the barrier gates. I walk over the barrier gates. Sarah had assigned them to me, but I guess I must have forgotten to close and lock them today. I make my way over to them and start bringing them together. Both gates had to be positioned just right in order to latch them together and then padlock them. I hear Zane yell at me from across the parking lot as I position the two gates closer together. Hey, don't forget to dump your mop water tonight. What? Your mop water. You have to dump it and don't leave your mop in the dirty water either. It really stinks up the closets. Okay. I give a thumbs up and Zane jogs back to the school before disappearing inside. My gaze lingers just a bit on where we'd just been talking. That went well. My mind fixates on that comment Zane made right before Jean left. That joke that didn't quite land. His specific use of words and the way Jean reacted. That phrase had certain connotations. Although a guy like Zane could have easily been mimicking something he'd heard without understanding it fully, I want to believe that was the only reasonable option. He's dumb enough to parrot what he's heard someone else say. My phone buzzes in my pocket. Put it out to check my notifications. There's a response from one of the job sites. Holy fucking shit, goodbye to this job. I almost fumble and drop my phone in excitement as I unlock it. I continue trying to close and lock the gates as I do. Dear Mr. Maxwell, we regret to inform you the listing provided is no longer in the consideration, that your interest in the... I continued reading. Another rejection letter. I lean onto the gates and position my fingers in between where the metal clasp would fasten the gate, too absent-minded at the moment to notice how much of an error that is. The first rejection of this week and the third this month. The pain I feel as my fingers are wedged in between the metal gates immediately takes me out of my despair. I spin towards the gate and drop my phone. My attention is now fully on the 2 digits jammed between cold metal. I grip onto the gates and my reflexes force me to quickly pull my finger out of its tight trap. The pain of the initial jam is nothing compared to the lingering agony of the degloving that might have just occurred. I recoil in pain and envelop my injured fingers into my fist and grip tightly. I dig into my closed fist with my other paw. The pain doesn't diminish, but I'm distracted by the controller having digging into my flesh lightly. I hold my position for a moment, my mind now racing as to just how fucked up my fingers might be. I can start to see blood seeping out from the cracks of my fist. I begin to run as tears form the edges of my eyes from thinking of how bad this injury might be. Just a cut? Full nail bed dismemberment? Laceration deep enough to need stitches? I keycard myself into the building and run down the halls, rushing towards the custodial office. It's the closest place I know that has a first aid kit. Blood drips from my clenched fist onto the ground as I run. It takes longer than I expect, so I find myself turning onto the same corner once or twice. Either that or I'm bleeding more than I thought and become delirious. I'm still panicking and my self-deprecation isn't helping. You fucking dumb piece of shit. You should have fucking paid attention to looking at your fucking phone. That's probably broken now too. You're going to leave this fucking dead-end job, you loser. I keep running, not caring which way I go, but that only makes me feel more lost. At one point I peer down the hall and see the lights of a faint glow of red. I avoid that hall and go the other way. Losing my shoulder, I push open a set of doors that should have led me to the kitchen, but instead I end up in the gymnasium. It's almost pitch black in there. Some 70 feet away I see the office with its door open. Light pours out of it. Fuck it. I know there should be a first aid kit there. I take a moment and force down the stray sniffles I have. Someone might be in there. I don't want them to see me crying. I wipe tears from my face and breathe deeply once, before I start my walk across the dark gymnasium. As I draw near, I can hear voices coming from inside the office. I stop short to eavesdrop. I just fell off. Even our last guy didn't have that kind of trouble with the can liners. This guy's a college degree after all. You went over having to replace them. Also, the way he looked at me while I was changing it made me think he thought I did it. Just because you have a degree doesn't mean you have common sense. You've been checking his work, right? You said it looked fine. Yeah, it looked fine. But you know how it is sometimes. Floors look clean, but actually aren't. But you mop anyway, and then your mop water is dirty. So you're right all along. There's a pause. Planning a theatre. That's what slice they're going to make of a Friday. I took him to his outpatient PT last Thursday and looked a lot better. I still don't think he should be up for it. Thanks for that, by the way. He just needs to conduct us, remember? As long as he can climb that ladder, he should be fine. Besides, don't you make sure we have a team for this go-around? We shouldn't even need him. He's insistent on helping. Even when injured, he's still insistent on managing things. It's probably going to be stronger this time around. How much did the last guy neglect his work? There has to be some sort of consequence waiting for us on the other end. I'm still upset about that. Him being let go. He left purposely, Zane. He wasn't a good fit. There wasn't much we could do. He had issues we couldn't address, you know that. Well, I know. I had issues too. You were different. Was I? Yes, you were. The lingering pain in my fingers reminds me they might still be completely mangled. I don't want to wait any longer, but I don't want to know I've been eavesdropping either. I quietly make my way up to one of the entrances to the gym and open the door wide. I let it slam and make my way back over. That should provide enough of a cover. Zane pops his head out. Oh, hey, it's our intrepid initiate. I'll finish for the night. And a drop of blood seeps out between my fingers and falls to the floor. Yeah, I'm hurt. Is the first aid kit in there? Oh, shit. Hey, Sarah, did we replace the first aid kit from last month? We should have. That was Forsyth's responsibility. Sarah now pokes her head out too and looks me up and down, while I present her with my balled-up fist. That's a fist. Yeah, no shit. But I assume what's in it is more important. Yeah, jammed my fingers between the barrier gates. I think I might have broken it or something. I doubt it. You'd probably still be crying if it was. Come on in, let's see the damage. Zane, could you check the office on the elementary side to get the workers' comp sheet for us? This happened on school ground, so this qualifies. On it. Hang in there, Nishit. Get a good pause. Ha 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 ha, pause. Because he smashes pause. Zane darts out towards the way I initially came from. He should splot the blood on his way to the office. Maybe he'll clean it up for me too. I can still hear his laughs as he slams through the gym doors. Sarah leads me to the office and sits me down. Man, that guy's like a wrecking ball. Yeah, would you believe he was probably half his size when he first started working here? Half? Christ. Sorry. I look at the cross she wears. It's fine. The language from the people here can be way worse. I'm not going to be upset by the Lord's name being said in vain. And yeah, he's had some size to him, but nowhere near as big as he is now. Okay, let's see that finger. Sarah finishes breaking out the first aid kit and has a few items laid on the desk. I open my bald fist and we both take in the damage to my finger. Sarah takes a moment and inspects the wound. Dried and almost dry blood is caked into my fur from the second knuckles to the nail beds. I can't make heads or tails of the damage and panic starts to set in again. I try moving it a bit and manage a few flexes, but it still hurts to do so. Well, you can move it, so that's good. In my experience, wounds generally look worse than they actually are. Blood has the weird ability of looking like a lot more than actually is there. There's also no more oozing, so another good sign. We can use the utility sink here to wash it off, then we can use some antiseptic and patch it up. I move over to the sink that is, for some reason, in this office. Sarah continues to talk. You know, most of the time it's the paint scrapers or razor blades we use that end up cutting people. Either that or people's fingers getting smashed between door frames. The barricade is a new one. Just make sure you're wearing gloves when you're working with that paw. You do not want to get it infected. I finish washing the blood off gingerly. With the blood gone and fur matted, I can tell it's just 2 cuts. Sarah reassures me I shouldn't need stitches and tries to take over the rest, but I insist on doing it myself. Sarah returns to her business at the computer. She does offer 1 point of praise while letting me tend to my finger. The floors look better this morning. There are a few spots you missed, but I can tell you're getting the hang of it. Just remember to do the figure 8 pattern. After the conversation with Jean and the kindness both Zane and Sarah have shown, I'm starting to get the sense that I might have misjudged these people. You have kids to go here. Yep, 1 in 2nd, 1 in 6th. You might have noticed I eat with the 1 in 2nd grade sometimes. It's not every day, but I try to make time for him. It's getting to that age soon, it'll be too cool to have lunch with Mom. It must be nice being able to keep an eye on those two. It is. It can be a hassle getting them up in the morning. The family's whole schedule revolves around my job now, and when you have to stay longer, lots of things shift. Which is lucky my husband's job is flexible enough. Zane told me you don't usually stay this late. Just until Forsyth gets back on his feet. I'm sure you've heard of him. Yeah, Zane mentioned him a few times. Forsyth manages the elementary school side staff. That and managing the second shift crew. I'm usually gone by 1:30 or 2 p.m. Same time the elementary school kids leave. But with Forsyth recovering, they changed my shift hours and want to ensure our new first shift member and you had some supervision for your first 2 weeks. Even though Zane's been doing that for you. To a degree. He's been here 3 years now. I want to see how he handled extra responsibility. My time here is coming to a close soon. The elementary side is going to be torn down within the next few years. Shift changes. Once the elementary side is torn down, that means people are going to be moved. I'm assuming there's a new elementary school already being built somewhere with means openings in management. You folks want to hire internally. Exactly. Hey, look at the smarty pants on you. Well, I do have a degree. What was that in again? Computer science. I got mine in business. That was almost 15 years ago, though. So then why are you here? Same as anyone. I have a blood debt to pay, and that only gets paid by managing custodians. You have to be joking. Yeah, Zane said that one probably wouldn't work on you. I guess I must judge my audience. The real reason is I got laid off. Over many recessions ago, and, well, I had to find employment fast. So you got a management position? Not initially. Started out in first shift and was suggested for management by Forsyth. Applying to work here started out as a bit of a joke between my husband and I. Harold has just started here, and we joked that I could look after her while working. And well, years later I'm doing it for both. How long have you been stuck here then? Sarah swivels around in her office chair but doesn't face me directly. Stuck? I get a hint of confusion in her voice. I wouldn't call it being stuck. What would you call it? A job. That you stayed in for however many years. You have a business degree and you decided to stay here. You might have been too young at the time to understand or know, but there weren't a lot of opportunities once you got laid off. It wasn't my first choice, but this job was available. I was lucky at the time to even get it with how many people were searching for something. And then you stayed past that. I think I'm trying to make some kind of point here, but it feels more like projection. She has to see what she did to her life by staying here. She spent however many years here instead of somewhere else, instead of using a degree. You're still young. I don't expect you to understand what it means to have people depend on you, and what it means to be part of a community. She completely pivots towards me now. My family made it through difficult times from the help of this job and the people who work here. It's difficult not to hear the anger in her voice, but she still tempers her words with gratitude. I think back to my own family's time during the months and years Sarah was invoking. My family wasn't wealthy. Only after starting college did I realise how many things we did back then weren't normal. How many things we did because of the economy. I can feel my throat starting to form a knot. That's when Zane pops in. I got the forms on one of those multicoloured pens. Always want to do your paperwork in the colour of your choice. Zane doesn't immediately pick up on the tension in the room. Zane, can you help him through the paperwork? I should have been home by now. Oh, sure. Oh, hey, Forsyth said he enjoyed the tamales you made. Let me try something before work on Thursday. Sarah nods before signing out of the computer and leaving. Have a nice night, you two. Zane takes the office chair and gives me the paperwork along with the pen. Once situated, he starts lightly spinning around. The knot in my throat starts to subside. I start filling out parts of the form I know off the top of my head. I didn't know those types of pen were invented in the 70s. I think early 70s. Most colours I've seen on one of those is 5. Zane stops spinning for a moment. Oh, we should only use the blue or black ink since it's an official document. Learned that one the hard way. Or you could just use a pencil. That reminds me. You know that myth about the Soviets and using pencils in space, and NASA spent all this time and money making a pen that could work in space? I ignore Zane, instead focusing on filling out what I can on the form. Oh, that isn't true. There was some other company that invented a pen that could work in space. Oh, so I think. I'm not sure. Well, the lunch ladies told me, so don't quote me on that. Zane starts spinning again. I finish what I can of the form. This seems like a good time to ask some questions. We have some time to kill before the shift ends. How long have you been here? 3 years now. Doesn't feel like that long, though. You haven't gone sick of it yet. Surely something else has come up since you started. Yeah, I've been at opportunities. They didn't make sense to me. This does? Yeah, it should have worked for me. It forced me not to nap my day away. Get into my tunes and podcasts. I don't have to talk to people I don't like. I get a little extra once everyone leaves. The howling. Yeah, they hear me. There's still a few people here. You kind of get to do what you want. It's nice to give in to an impulse here and there. Not the folks here would care. You don't feel angry at the kids at all? Oh, I did for a bit. But then I got over it. God's sakes, cat. You don't feel angry at the kids at all? Oh, I did for a bit. Then I got over it. They little bastards sometimes the way they get things dirty or possibly cause messes. 2 weeks ago, some third grader clogged the urinal with broken pencils. I just try and remember their kids. I didn't have it all figured out at their age. I don't really expect them to either. It has to be demoralising though. I heard from teachers the kids growing are getting worse. Yeah, I heard that too. That's not all their fault. Feels like a lot more things are against them nowadays. That global panorama certainly didn't help. Fern told me that really fucked up the way they've socialised or something. Sarah called it trauma. She told me that she sees it in her own kids sometimes. Being that disconnected from everything does a number on you. I mean, the world is fucked and only getting worse. I don't see much of a future for them. Well, Scythe explained it, I think, in a way that made sense to me. And these kids deserve a clean and orderly space to mess up and learn. They deserve that chance. So I try hard to make sure I can provide that chance. I don't know if they're going to make it out the other end to a world that's even remotely okay. I want to do what I can to protect the kids any way I can, you know? Don't ever feel stuck. I couldn't hold on a job before this one. Partly a me issue. The other places also sucked. This feels like more stability than I've had before. The stability I had got taken out from under me. It didn't last long. Oh, last job that good? Money was. Everything else sucked. It was stressful as hell. This job is just a setback. Temporary. Don't be too sure of that. I thought the same thing, but here I am. I just feel like a loser working here. I'll get used to it here. It's not so bad. Don't you want to be doing something with your life? I mean, what else am I supposed to be doing? Something more? The room goes quiet. Oh, I don't know. I'm paying my taxes, not into too much trouble. I'm active with the kids. I like it here. What else more should I be doing? I don't know. The rest of the shift passes quickly, but in silence. We only had 10 more minutes left. Zane helps me clock out from the computer in the office. Before I can leave, Zane poses a question to me. Hey, what are you doing the rest of the night? My buddy Fern and I are going to stop by the convenience store and get slushies. They've got a new flavour and Fern swears by it. Just wanted to see if you wanted to come along. I don't feel so good after my injury and social blunder with Sarah to meet anyone new. My first thought is to mention that my partner is waiting for me, but I hold back. This time it's a bit harder to resist the urge to tell him. Should we? Let's risk it. My boyfriend is waiting for me at home, so I can't. Oh well, what about Wednesday night? Fred and I got this weekly thing of going to that gay bar by 1st and 7th. Or 8th. A place with a neon. Wednesday nights I get a lot of people who work odd hours, so it can be pretty lively. You can meet Fern too. Oh, well, I know you went to college. Fern has gone to college too. You have that in common. They're queer. I stare at him. He's inviting me to a gay bar? Oh shit, can I say that? Fern says it all the time. No, that wasn't my issue. I picked up on the pronouns. And maybe. I'll need to check my schedule, but I might be able to. Oh, sweet. Hey, have yourself a good night. Zane darts off outside. I walk back to my car down the same path I'd just been racing down not 30 or more minutes ago. I notice the blood drops I left behind are gone now. I guess Zane must have mopped them up. That just makes me feel more like shit. Wednesday, March 5th, 11:46 a.m. Hey, you and the team doing anything tonight? I know I took you guys up on Wednesday trivia nights, but I want to see if you're still doing them. Oh, hey, we don't really do those anymore. Too many people got canned, so it all kind of fell apart. How's the new job? It's okay. I think back to the conversation that Zane and Sarah had last night. I think about how the last guy who worked here half-assed it too. They think I'm pulling my weight. I'm not. I wanted to try today. Partly to pay them back for fixing me up, but mainly to prove to myself that I wasn't slipping. Some of these people are educated, and they're working harder than I was. I made sure to take my medication this morning. I'm 1.5 weeks behind on them. Better late than never, right? The shift went as usual. Clean up the cafeteria. Zane gets more high fives from the kids. Then we waited a bit for the elementary school buses to load up and leave. Even managed to crack a joke while we waited. Sarah, you missed out on a real bender that night. Bender? I barely know her. Oh, this one gets it. It was shit, but Zane loved it. An attempt at showing I belonged here as much as anyone else. Then, locking up the barrier gate, I pay attention this time. Lastly, the bulk of my work. Vacuuming, toilet scrubbing, dispenser stocking, mopping and spot checking. I remember to do the figure 8 pattern when mopping. Sarah, despite our conversation last night, was cordial. She went over how to use the mobile bathroom cleaner towards the end of the shift. Not too complicated. Spray with diluted cleaner from the hose, switch to water and pressure wash the suds, then vacuum suction it up. You don't have to use this method every day, but at least once a week the bathroom should get some kind of deep cleaning using this. You can also just use the spray hose if you find you use too much floor cleaner when doing your regular mopping. It's why the floors are sticky sometimes. I've been having that problem lately, but no one has complained. You step your foot down, your shoes come back up with this awful crinkling sound. I just assumed it was the kids spilling their juice boxes or something worse. The cleaner dispenser is ready to the cleaner from its concentrate. Anything more than a 1-to-1 ratio of water to cleaner needs soap residue when it dries. Zane did tell me that. It was easy enough to learn, but had nuances that wouldn't be covered with initial training. Small complexities like the proper way you should wrap the power cord and water feed tubes, or how you have to have enough momentum when wheeling over certain door frames. The real hell was emptying its waste collection tank. Again, my predecessor made his presence known with his neglect. All of the grime, urine, excrement and other unsavoury material left by people would mix with nauseating cleaner. Once sucked up, it would be left to fester in the dark 13-gallon tank deep in the machine. To empty it, you have to detach the emptying tube and guide it to the mop basin in the custodial closet. If this tube's end wasn't facing directly down to the basin within less than a second, you risked some of the tank's sewage seeping down your pores and arm. Once the tube was directed to the basin, you had to make sure to hold it there. Otherwise, it would retract back and spray grey fluid everywhere like a loose fire hose. While the tank emptied, you got to smell its contents. The primary smell was sulphur, but it was aged, refined. It smelled of primordial rot that compounded each of its base ingredients into something altogether abominable. Whereas sulphur alone was sharp, this smell was heavy. It lingered in your nostrils and did what it could to settle into your lungs. I gagged as I'd taken the initial smell. After some time I switched on the cleaning dispenser above and have it run in tandem to try and cut the smell. Oh yeah, it fucking sucks emptying the tanks up. I notice you aren't using a hook attachment. I answered through tearing eyes, trying my best not to breathe in the miasma. What fucking attachment? Zane steps in before recoiling back. His snout scrunches up and his ears fall down. There should be an attachment on the edge of the basement. Metal clasp thingy? I made one for every basin in the school. Really, this guy should have installed it. I don't see any here. It's just the basin. Yes, he did do it. Let me check around here. Zane moves into the closet and makes the space even more cramped. Spray bits of fibrous matter, that I hope is fur, now periodically begin to appear amongst the grey fluid gushing out of the tube. I see it trail down the basin in a spiral pattern and catch on the drain. It covers up the drain and the basin begins to fill. Fuck's sake, it's starting to clog up the drain. What do I do? Clear it. Just take the stuff and move it. I hesitate for a moment. I won't even think about touching the disgusting mass. My hesitation is not rewarded. The mass of fur grows twice in size, then it becomes fully submerged into the rising mixture of diluted cleaner and sewage. I go to reach with my free paw in panic at this development. Dude, what are your fucking gloves? You should be wearing gloves. Don't touch that shit. My bare paw is just inches away from the mass now clogging the drain. I noticed the fingers I smashed yesterday are inches away from the fluid rot. Submerging my paws would have guaranteed infection. Nice save, Zane. I go to reattach the hose to the machine to stop the flow, but as soon as I turn the tube upwards, the seeping fluid defies gravity and bubbles over the top. The grey fluid flows down the tube's exterior, down my ungloved paw and onto the floor. My specialised fur doesn't allow the water to penetrate to my skin, but does act as a natural slide of the sewage to race down the length of my arm. I hold onto the tube in absolute shock. I feel the sewage trace the length of my forearm and past my elbow to my armpit. My shirt sleeve does what it can to soak up the fluid, but I wish it didn't. No, keep it in the basin. Zane comes in behind me and grabs my wrist to force the hose back into the basin. His eyes remain locked onto the drain, now slowly filling up. Also notice his paw holding my wrist has a glove on, the other does not. Switch out with me and get some gloves to get this drain. Don't you have more? I'm as prepared as I want to be today. Only one left on me. I'm not touching this fucking tube without gloves on. God, this smells awful. I dart my head around the room trying to find gloves. Right, Chet, you're going to have to find him another closet downstairs. Last guy really fucked us over here. Zane doesn't consider my part in keeping my closet stocked. I dash out of the closet, leaving Zane to fend for himself. Don't know how much time I have until the basin overflows. My first thought is to check my cart, see if I had any left, but I think twice about that. Zane probably already checked. I take the stairwell down, skipping every other step. Finding Zane's closet is more difficult than I thought. For some reason each floor on the elementary side did not share the same layout. Either that or it's shifted around. Crazy. I do find and fumble with my keys trying to open it. Inside is an actually stocked and organised space. I notice a poster with a feral leopard cub dangling from a branch with the words, "Hang in there." His cart is in here too. It's covered in stickers and has plushies zip-tied onto the sides, most likely decorated by the kids. Finding gloves isn't difficult. I grab a pawful and run back. By the time I make it back, the situation's resolved. Zane has finished up mopping the last bits of sewage off the ground. I stopped long after you left. Took you a bit to find some, huh? I think I was gone that long. Like I said, this place can be a maze. Guess I'm not a hero today. Hey, I can take over from here. Why don't you wash those dirty paws? Well, should be here any minute. You decided if you wanted to join us. Sure, I could go for a drink after this. That's not all we're going to be doing. Zane smiles at me. I give a half-hearted smile back before leaving to wash the filth off me. That's the end of part 1 of Second Shift. We're not exactly halfway through, but I started recording late today, so I decided it's a good time to do a slightly shorter first part, and we will have the whole rest of the story in part 2. It should be coming up soon. That might be next weekend or the weekend after, like I said. If it's 2 weeks today, then we have more Dawn Chorus next weekend. We'll see how things go with this. I haven't quite decided how to do that. We also have another May Wolf short, one coming up in the week, which was for my patrons, and now I'm going to release it for everyone. That's called A Small Cafe. So it's quite short, about 15 minutes long, and that was my contribution to the May Wolf jam. The first time I wrote a VN, it was fun. And I say I'm really enjoying this one. It's a great work by the whole team on Second Shift, and you'll be seeing all their credits at the end of the next part. But for now, I just wanted to say thanks for watching, and also thanks to all my donors on Ko-fi and Patreon. And my top patrons are Andy Peng, Aaron Fox, Bastian, Bieker, Brian Hall, Cobus Visser, Dissonance, Exact, Grizz, Harvest Mouse Productions, Evan King, Kartek, Mike Kenya, Gracious Yevon, Lark Huskerton, Hyperdefined, Greylock, Ara Amaterasu, Tiger Cub, Zamuto, Spiderling, Rafu, and Omar. So special thanks to all of you. And until next time, bye for now.